I've been studying Alex Hormozi's communication and speaking skills for the last 3 years. And after his recent launch, selling $105 million worth of products in just one single launch, I have to crown him the king of social media selling and influencing. But the truth is that I don't hear most people talk about is that it's not really his slides, his preparation, or his sales pitch, even his offer that makes him this successful. It's his communication skills. And I've boiled down his communication skills into three pillars that makes people trust him, take action on what he says, and really get invested in him as a person. And the number one skill that Alex Hormozi has is communicating value. Most people today on social media, they post a lot of nonsense. And in the real world, when you hear a speech, most of it is always just a bunch of fluff. You have some tactics here and there, very shallow tactics. But Alex, he really goes into the details. He will give you the the real stuff, the details of the strategies, and he is so good at articulating the fundamentals as well. He can explain to you why these strategies work, the psychology behind them, and he is just a master first of all in knowledge, but also in articulating that knowledge in a very clear and concise way. Most people they just try to sound smart, but Alex makes it very simple. And that brings me to the second point, which is communicating with clarity. Alex doesn't ramble, he simplifies everything. He cuts everything down to first principles, to the fundamental levels, and it makes it very easy for people to understand. He's kind of acting like his audience would be dumb. That's how simple he makes everything. And his ability to do so stems from him being a very incredibly clear thinker. He is very clear with his thoughts. And I think one of the reasons is that he has just been doing this for so long. For so long he has been putting in the volume, he has been speaking on the same topics. So he has just been able to articulate everything so clearly in his head. And that is at least one thing that I've taken from him, that when you study your material really well, you understand everything from it. It becomes very easy to then present it to other people. So know your material. That is one of the biggest things that I've taken from him. Because when you see the work he puts in, with his books, his writing, and his preparation for everything, he has been preparing for this launch. He prepared it for like 3 years. That's incredible. No one does that sort of volume. So no wonder he's so good at articulating his thoughts, and he's such a clear thinker. And the third skill that he has is his ability to build and then showcase his authority and credibility. He teaches from experience, not just theory. He shares his results, his numbers, his proof, and he is very clear with showing that he's competent in what he does. And that is also one of the reasons he's incredibly confident. When he says that he has done this or he has gained these sort of results, you can trust it because he backs it up with proof. He has done the walk and now he's doing the talking as well. But another thing which I've also recognized is that he is very authentic with everything. He shows his flaws. He tells stories of him failing, of him being inadequate, of him being scared. For example, when he first wanted to start his business, he's very clear. He's very vulnerable with people, and that creates just a different sort of connection compared to someone who tries to act as this big businessman and tries to be polished and too perfect. People can smell that a mile away. We humans, we are very good at smelling bullshit. So that is very refreshing with Alex. He's very vulnerable, and he definitely isn't trying to seem perfect. And the last thing I want to say about Hormozi and his secret to success is really that he just puts in a lot more volume than anyone else. And when you, over a long enough period of time, you just put in more volume than anyone else, you put in the reps and you analyze yourself. You're constantly learning, constantly improving on your techniques and your delivery. That's when you become great. And I think most people, they just don't want to put in the work. He's willing to do the boring work. He's willing to do his book drafts over and over again. He's willing to train on his presentation skills over and over again, and he's constantly learning. It's unreasonable that he wouldn't succeed. All right, that's been it. Hopefully you found value from this. Now go out there and take action like Hormozi.